Hi Aquarius, Happy New Year. Welcome to your monthly reading for January 2024. Thank you to everyone who likes, shares, comments on the video, subscribes to the channel. If you would like a personal reading, see the description box. So these are the oracle decks I'm going to be using for today's reading. We're going to start off with a message from goddesses, gods and guardians first of all to get your main theme. The messages are for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising as usual. So what does Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising need to know for January 2024? So Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising for January 2024. Okay. I think this could be right, but I feel like I need to try that again. I don't know why. So let me try that again. I know that's weird because, as I said, it feels right, but yeah, I just want to, I don't know. Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, please. There we go. Right, you have Aditi, expand your consciousness. I don't know, that was really weird because, as I say, it felt right, but it's just like, it feels right, but do it again anyway. Weird. So let's get your tarot cards out and then I will look at this. I feel like, am I having deja vu or has this come out for you before not too long ago? I really feel like this has come out before not very long ago for you, Aquarius, like maybe a month or two ago. So are you on some transformational, like still in the process of a transformational journey, awakening, something to that effect? Right. Let's see what your tarot cards say. So again, relating to the main theme for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, you have the King of Pentacles. Your energy specifically, the Eight of Swords, you know what, I didn't even concentrate. I was thinking about something, like I was thinking about these cards when that came out. Any external or surrounding energies, please. It feels like there's something changing about your, well, something about your physical reality, but there's something else as well. I don't know if your perspective is going to change about something to do with your physical reality as well. Any external or surrounding energies, please. The Moon. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what's hidden, isn't it? That's what's in the shadows. That's what's hidden. And that is the external energy. So there really could be something changing about your perspective, about your reality. Past energies, please. Okay, yeah, these two. That's something about what you create. There's something in the past here about what you created, I'd have to say, because it's past energy. That's very tangible. Let me see. This is a really broken, yeah, let's get all the cards out and stop doing it bit by bit because I don't think that's helpful, is it? Or you've mastered something very tangible, because the Magician, I feel like, I mean, the Magician can be about mastery, as honing your skills and mastery. And then the Eight of Pentacles, it's physically practicing something, isn't it? So that you can master it. I mean, yeah, okay. So this is the current, oh God, you know, I'm not concentrating in this reading. I'm too busy looking at the previous cards. Right, current energy, present energy, as in the energy now for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Current energy for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Right, we've got the Emperor. And as you've heard me say quite often, I personally feel that the King of Pentacles is the closest card to the Emperor. Whereas in theory, you'd probably think it's more the King of Wands, because the King of Wands is the fire sign and the Emperor is fire energy. The Empress Aries, the King of Wands is Leo. So you would think that they are closer, but I always feel kind of like the King of Pentacles. I mean, I don't know, it depends on the energy in the particular reading. But let's see what else comes out. So potential future energy, focus. We've got the Six of Cups and the Ace of Wands. I mean, that is so bloody weird because the Six of Cups is in the future, isn't it? And the Ace of Wands is there. When the Six of Cups comes up in like a future position with a card like the Ace of Wands where there's a new beginning or the world or something, sometimes it makes me think of an old dream or something from the past that can help you move forward in a new way. Let's look at the guidance for you. Nope, none of those. Guidance for you, please. Right, can I get this without ripping the mic and tripod down? Let's see. Yeah, you've got the King. Okay, bear with me a minute. King of Cups. I mean, the King. This is interesting because. Sorry, I'm still just at the tail end of a bug still. All the kings have mastered something, haven't they? So the King of Pentacles, he's a master of physical reality, like building things, structure, constructing things. The King of Cups is master of emotion. So where it says expanding consciousness, is it that you've mastered, because I said mention something about your physical reality, that you've probably mastered something about your physical reality here? Is it that you've mastered something within your physical reality and now it's the time to kind of master something within your emotional and probably spiritual reality as well? Or would you even call it reality? Spiritual, let's say consciousness, spiritual and emotional consciousness, because the King of Cups is about emotions and can be about spirituality as well, can't he? So I just keep looking at the Emperor, the way it's almost like, I know he's not literally doing it, but it's kind of like it's almost like he's giving the Magician and the Eight of Pentacles a dirty look, and that sounds really weird. It's a odd, I don't know, it's an odd energy, it's an odd way of looking at it. It's giving, this is going to sound a bit weird and maybe a little bit harsh, but it's giving a slight energy of, I'm above that now. Bear with me one moment, please. Yeah, it's giving, and I wouldn't even say it's necessarily in a negative way, that the Emperor's looking back at whatever's been mastered in the past in a bad way. It's just like, it is a kind of, I'm above that way, but I don't know if it's, how do you describe it? I think arrogance, excuse me. The word arrogance is there, but I don't know if it's arrogance in a bad way. It's just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's a really weird energy. You know, like if you'd say once you've finished primary school, so in the UK we call it primary school. Say if you've been to primary school, you've finished primary school, you did really well, and then you become an adult and you're in your 30s or something, and someone, you went for a job interview, and then somebody said, oh, you need to go back to primary school. I know that is the weirdest example ever, but that's what that feels like. That look on his face is like, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? I've got to go back to primary school. I'm in my 30s. That was done like 20 years ago. I know that's a really weird example, and I don't know if you'll understand what the hell I'm talking about, but that's what that feels like. So it's like he's mastered something, but I don't know, it's really odd. I don't know why that would even be relevant, but that's what came to mind. So I don't know if there's something in your life where you've mastered something physically in the past, and maybe something's come up in the present where you kind of expected to go back into that role or something, and it's like, no, I can't go back. I'm expanding. I'm not going backwards. I'm expanding. I'm moving forward. So I don't know. That was a really odd example, but that's what came to mind. But yeah, as I was saying, it's like you've mastered something. Excuse me. And it's like further expansion and further progression, but as I say, it might be more to do with the physical's done, but now it's about mastering the emotional and spiritual. And obviously the moon can be considered to be emotional and spiritual as well. When Right, let's get clarifying. No, sorry, let's read from the book, the Aditi card. I really don't know why that was relevant, that example I just gave, but for someone out there, it might mean something. Not sure what exactly, but if it does resonate, please share whatever the hell that means to you if you want to share that, because I'm baffled by that myself, but that's the example or thought that came to mind. Right, so Aditi, expand your consciousness. See the bigger picture. The universe is open up to you. You've definitely got this. And I think it was that reading where I said something about a bigger part of the whole or something was what came up. And I was like, I don't know what that even means, but that's what's coming up. So it says, Mother of the endless universe, Aditi is a primordial Hindu goddess who appears often in the Vedas, the earliest Hindu scriptures. Her name means limitless or boundless in Sanskrit. Aditi is the source of all who gave birth to it. I get why that came up. Aditi is the source of all who gave birth to the entire cosmos, including all the gods and goddesses. As celestial mother, she's sometimes represented as a sacred cow, nourishing everything on earth with her milk. Also known as Mother Space, she symbolizes the infinite, freedom, divine order, and cosmic connection. Yep, I get it. I get why I had that weird thought in my head about the emperor going back to primary school. It speaks of limitless and boundless. And it's like there could have been, although you've mastered that, it's like if you tried to stay with that now or do that now, whatever that was, it's restrictive to you. So there's sort of a side eye. I said side eye is the best way I can think of it, actually. The emperor side eyeing it, like it's not that you think it's beneath you, like in a stuck up kind of way. It's just like, why would I do that? I've done that. I've mastered that. I've been there. You know, again, that whole, it's time to expand now. That, if I go back to that or do that, that's restrictive. So why would I want to do that when I can expand? So it's more of a side eye rather than just nasty, over the top arrogance. I think that's what it is. It's when I saw that boundless and limitless thing. So there you go. But again, feel free to share what that means to you if you have a different meaning for it, because I'm still curious. Anyway, it says, look up at the sky, and then you've got a restrictive energy in the Eight of Swords, by the way, as well. So if you are still here, it's kind of like you've outgrown it. You've outgrown that and you're trying to free yourself from that to expand. But anyway, look up at the sky, the clouds, the stars, planets, and the endless expanses stretching out in all directions. You're part of a vast, limitless consciousness and a divinely ordered universe. It may be hard to remember this right now as you're consumed with the details, problems, and demands of everyday life. You might feel restricted, confined, or limited by your circumstances. Eight of Swords. And I didn't remember those words in this. I've just read them now. Like, I didn't remember the meaning. Anyway, maybe you've been spending too much time indoors or listening to inflexible, narrow ideas. Aditi invites you to gaze up again upon the sky outside your window. Her expansive energy swirls around your tight forehead, freeing up your mind. You've reached an impasse because you've become closed to alternative options. She says, it's easy to get locked inside your own head. You get stuck in a rut and see only dead ends and foregone conclusions. I've got a comment after this, but if I can remember it. Open your consciousness, connect with the divine mind, and feel the rich expansiveness. You're not limited in any way, and I'm here to show you the extensive possibilities and plentiful resources that are always available. Widen your perspective, stand up and stretch out your arms to the universe. Be open to the unexpected blessings, surprising solutions, and new adventures of understanding. Your guidance from Aditi is to broaden your horizons mentally, physically, or spiritually. Be curious. Additional meanings: don't take this situation personally. Study philosophy or ancient knowledge systems such as astrology or Ayurveda. Travel or move abroad, get a second opinion, develop your connection with spiritual guides. And the invocation says, my mind is open and flexible. I'm willing to expand. And spiritual guides, it's whatever you take it to be. For some people, it's spirit. They feel there are spiritual guides. For some people, it's God. For some people, they believe in angels, fairies, whatever. For some people, it's just your higher self or your higher consciousness. It's just spiritual. It's connecting with your spirituality more deeply in general, isn't it? And as I've said, invocation says, my mind is open and flexible. I'm willing to expand. Yeah, so as I was reading that, obviously my throat was getting really dry. I wonder if it's where, you know, like when we speak sometimes of spiritual stuff and emotional stuff, like there's no words to describe it, is there? So that's probably why I had that weird example where it's like I'm trying to explain something and I don't even know how to explain it. It's where I suppose, especially more the spiritual and intuitive side, you feel things and you have this sense of knowing, but you can't even put it into words. And that could be a part, if that even makes sense to anyone, about that expand your consciousness thing. So if this feels really mysterious and weird, I think that's part of the energy. But hopefully you'll understand. If you're feeling it, hopefully you'll get whatever the hell I'm talking about in this, because I can kind of feel it, but it's hard to, yeah, it's hard to put it into words myself. So anyway, King of Pentacles. Let's clarify that as the main theme. So as I said, it's like mastering the physical, but I believe I said at the beginning as well, a change in your physical reality or something as well, didn't I? Or the perspective of your physical reality. So King of Pentacles, why is that there? We've got the Ten of Wands. Is that the sun I can see? It is, yeah. I feel like that Ten of Wands is everything that you've overcome to master your something about your physical reality. I don't know what that is yet. You've got the Eight of Cups there. That feels very much like enlightenment, that sun, the Eight of Cups. It's where, let's get another one after that. See, again, I'm going to struggle to get to communicate in this reading that. So it's one of those weird ones where you feel the energy, but you can't. Yeah, it's a weird one. I feel like it's part of the, and is that the Nine of Cups after? Yeah. It's where you've learned all about what you had to leave behind, to become who you are and to have that peace of mind. And I think one way of explaining that is, you know, like when we speak of going through spiritual awakenings or just spiritual development in general, it's like you have to shed a lot of old skin to become who you are. So like unlearning who you were taught to become who you are. Hopefully that makes sense to someone. And then, as I say, that Nine of Cups for me, that can feel like the peace of mind, like being, that was some crazy beeps outside, being at peace with kind of who you are, and what you have to share. But yeah, that's the Eight of Cups there, feels like the shedding of the parts of yourself, the parts of your life, integration even as well. Okay, let's continue. So you've got Eight of Pentacles. I mean, that's the work you've done, isn't it? On yourself, on your life. And as I say, this feels like a bit of a mysterious reading. So whatever you've mastered in your physical reality, please feel free to share, because I'd love to have something tangible to understand what this means for people. I mean, yes, it could be as simple as your financial stability. It feels bigger than that, to be honest. And I really don't know what that means. Like maybe you are someone who's come to grips with what stability and success mean for you in a very individual way, and that's how you've how you've mastered it, because you know what it means to you. Okay, right, I'm going to leave that there. So as I said, it's mastery of something within your physical reality, and as I say, your perspective might change, or there may be a change in your physical reality as well. Let's look at the Eight of Swords. That's your energy specifically. That's where you are. It's restrictive, isn't it? To be honest. Like you may have this idea that you want to expand your consciousness or whatever it is, or have some sort of freedom in some way, shape or form. But at present, it feels like there may be some sort of restriction there. Maybe you just don't know how or what. Or again, as I said that reading this, I know how it feels, but I don't know how to get my words out. That could be a similar sort of thing that you're going through, where you kind of have these thoughts, you have these ideas, and you don't know how to get them out of you. That sounds really like something out of Alien, doesn't it? Right, Eight of Swords. We have the Knight of, that's your truth, isn't it? So there's something about your truth that is like stuck in there that you might not be able to get out, possibly. Or a truth you have and you don't know how to get it out. You've got the Four of Wands. Again, a card of truth with the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Wands is that can be stability as well. It can be a foundation, it can be stability. I mean, I already spoke of mastery, so that is a stage. It's not mastery itself, but it's where you have the foundation for something with that Four of Wands. So I'll take that one. You may have something to share that you are struggling to get out, or don't know how to get out, or how to experience or express or explore. That could be, it could be very fulfilling for you, but for others as well, and potentially help others, because the Ten of Cups for me, it is often shared happiness, isn't it? Or some sort of shared fulfillment. Can't even say the word now. So as I say, you may have some sort of truth or even knowledge with the Ace of Swords within you. Could be about how you've built your foundation, possibly like your internal foundation, maybe the foundation of your beliefs, because the ones can be spiritual as well. But it's like, is it stuck, like it can't get out somehow? I'm almost thinking like the Akashic Records type stuff, where we speak of the Akashic Records and people do, what do you call it, meditations on how to access them. It's almost like that, where you kind of know it's there, but you can't get it out. And it might not even be as deep as that, but that's the weird kind of level this is on at the moment. So anything else for that? The Hierophant, that's a spiritual teacher, isn't it? Or can be a spiritual teacher. I'll clarify that in a second. I'm almost getting this weird thing of, you know, like if somebody was in a coma, and I'm sorry, I'm going down a really weird route with this. Someone was in a coma and they are 100% aware of everything that's going on around them. Like they can hear every single conversation. They know every time a nurse or doctor's doing something to them, but they can't communicate. Like they don't know, like something's happened where their body won't allow them to communicate with anyone. I'm getting that. And I know that's really weird as well, but that's what I'm getting. Hierophant. So let's clarify that. I mean, as I say, it's spiritual teacher vibes from that. The Emperor, I mean, that's a leader, isn't it? Is there twice? And I mean, the Hierophant is a spiritual teacher and a spiritual leader too. Maybe someone wants to become a spiritual teacher, or you're involved in that kind of stuff already and you want to expand your consciousness even more in that. So you've got Two of Swords there. So again, that suggests some kind of restriction there. Either two truths, or it feels more like a blockage, I guess, maybe, but let's have a look what comes out after that. Like a roadblock in a way. In fact, it feels like the coma energy, to be honest. It kind of feels like the coma energy that I just spoke of. The High Priest, I mean, that's inner knowing, isn't it? So this is really spiritual energy here. And again, that's the knowing, but then you've got the Two of Swords there. So it's like it can't come out. I know this is really odd. I know it's really odd, but this is what I'm getting. Let's just get one more after that High Priestess. Queen of Cups again is intuition, like intuition, emotions, that sort of thing. And then you've got the Six of Pentacles, where it's sharing, isn't it? It's generosity. So as I said, it's almost like there is something that you really have that you could share, that could help people, possibly, that could teach, that could help with people's foundations, help with sense of fulfillment. But it's almost like it can't come out, or you don't know how to let it out. Or, I mean, it could even be as simple as you want to be a tarot reader, but you feel like you can't do it. It could be as simple as that, to be honest. It feels bigger than that. Probably it could only be bigger for a few people, but yeah, it's a strange energy. So let's put these away. Let's look at that moon energy. I mean, that's the surrounding or external energy, and it's, as I said, it was things, it's hidden, whatever's hidden, isn't it? hidden depths, hidden emotions, fears. It can be sometimes what's in the shadows. I'd say in this particular reading, it's probably more to do with what's hidden, the hidden depths of whatever consciousness maybe. Why is the moon here, please? Thought something came out then. So you've got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Justice card, the Page of Cups. We've got the World. Right, so first thing I can say with the World and the Queen of Wands. So this feels like the energy, this weird energy that's around you. I don't think it's another person or a specific situation. I think this is the energy, the moon energy, this mysterious whatever it is that we're dealing with here. The World, that for me, the World and the Queen of Wands, they are the potential to bring it out into the light. Because the World, it's like a new beginning. It is expansion as well, isn't it? And then the Queen of Wands, she shines her light. So whatever this information or energy or path or whatever it is, this here, this is the potential to expand it and to put it on display, for I can't think of a better word than to put it on display for everyone to see. You've got the Queen of Pentacles here, the Justice card, Page of Cups. Let's see. It almost feels like this is a part of what's in you, what's within you possibly, but I've got a few other meanings as well. But let me get one for the Queen of Pentacles. I mean, it could be that part of what's hidden, part of the mystery, this is what you have to offer. Whatever you have to offer or share, we'll say, has value. It has value. You would feel it's valuable as well. There's an element of vulnerability with it as well. For some, there could be some psychic related stuff here because of that Page of Cups and the moon being there. You've got the Justice card as well. So there is something, probably something to do with fairness involved in it as well. This Justice card, I know we often talk about the Justice card being to do with fairness, harmony, balance. It literally feels like justice here, and I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, but I don't know if I've ever, or I've probably very rarely done readings where the Justice card has literally felt like some kind of justice. Like, say, what would justice be? Say if a serial killer goes to jail, that's, for me, that would be the exact meaning of justice. It feels like literal justice here, but I literally don't know what that means in this particular reading. Let's look at that Queen of Pentacles. I've got a bit of the nurturing and vulnerability vibes as well from the Queen of Pentacles and Page of Cups. So maybe what you have to offer, I mean, the moon is connected to Cancer. That is connected to nurturing and vulnerability as well. But there's some sort of justice within that. Maybe that's something that you have to share about your own sense of nurturing and vulnerability that you can share with people that will help them gain their own sense of justice, possibly. So let's get one for the Queen of Pentacles. Got Knight of Wands. Get one more. Well, there's a need to share it, I can say, with the Knight of Wands there and the King of Cups. For me, when the King of Cups is in reverse, one of the meanings is about kind of opening up and sharing, isn't it? The Knight of Wands, it's that fearless energy. It's off on a new adventure, taking things out into the world. It is similar to that Queen of Wands energy. So if there is something to do with nurturing here or something of value here, it's like there's a need to kind of take that out or let it out somehow because it feels trapped. Let's look at that Page of Cups. You've got Judgment there. And this moon here could represent something about your consciousness and expanding it. But as I say, at the minute, it's kind of locked. It's locked in some sacred box within you is what it feels like. And it needs to come out somehow. So Page of Cups, Five of Swords. I feel like that is about, with the cards flying everywhere, there's something about the learning from vulnerability here with the Judgment card, Five of Swords and Page of Cups. It can be that you've been through certain shitty experiences in life. But there's something there where you've learned with the Judgment card. It feels like learning. You've learned from that about how to be vulnerable or how to handle your vulnerability or something to that effect. Just bear with me a minute. Make sure I haven't lost any cards. I think so. You've got the Eight of Swords here. Whatever it is that you may have learned to do with your vulnerability here, it's kind of, I think you may have been able to allow it to free you in some way, shape or form. It might have kept you trapped before. In fact, there's something about it that could be keeping you trapped, and that might be why you're struggling to there's some sort of vulnerable side of you that you can't quite, for some of you, that you might not be able to, this might be why you can't let out whatever it is that you have to share. But for some of you, you could have learned, there could be something very much about vulnerability that you've learned that has helped to free you in some way. Right, I'm going to move on from that because, as I say, it's a bloody weird reading, to be fair. I mean, I like it personally. When I say weird, I say that endearingly because I actually like it. But yeah, I'm not even surprised, Aquarius, because if you've watched any of your other readings, you'll know that a lot of the time it feels like rocket science for me, sort of doing some of your readings. So yeah, if you've seen any of the other ones, you'll know that this is kind of how it is. I've come to expect it now. I know when I'm doing an Aquarius reading, it's probably going to be very, very mysterious. Right, we've got the Magician and Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, so overall the Moon card, it could represent your consciousness or the hidden depths or something. Whatever it is that needs to come out, this truth or whatever it is that you need to share, I think this is it here. Magician, Eight of Pentacles, I said that's like mastery over you, something about your physical reality, but you're ready to expand beyond that, I believe. You've got the Judgment. Yep, I would say you've learned. I mean, Judgment really feels like learning in this. I mean, Judgment can be about second chances, but it can also be about reviewing the past, and it feels like learning. You've got the King of Swords next to it. That's where you've learned, you've gained the knowledge. Not only have you mastered something physically, but you've gained knowledge from it as well. And I mean, what is the King of Swords connected to? Knowledge, obviously, wisdom, authority, integrity, those sorts of things, to name but a few. So there could be something about your integrity, and that could be why the Empress kind of side-eyeing those things. Right, you've got the King of Pentacles. Again, that's about, you know, I love the way that King of Pentacles is looking at the Tower, because clearly the Tower is where things fall apart. But the King of Pentacles looking at that, it's like he's not even phased. It's like whatever he's learned, he's mastered things. So, I mean, I guess the Tower would be part of the process of mastery when things fall apart and having to rebuild. But he's looking at the Tower very confidently, like, yeah, if it falls apart, I'll rebuild. I'll start again. Let's get one more after that. I might look at the Tower on its own just to be nosy, but will it tell me anything? Probably not. So, Seven of Swords. Let's look at the Tower and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, I mean, clearly the Tower's like disruption, disappointment, drastic, dramatic changes in life. Anything else for the Tower? This is where you get to the point with the Tower and the Four of Cups. That's where shit happens and shit goes down and you really feel like giving up. Because it falls apart to the point of you giving up. You probably didn't know what to do, how to handle it. Eight of Wands. With the Two of Swords in between the Four of Cups and the Eight of Wands, it's like the choice. When Tower moments happen, the choice is you can either stay in that Four of Cups energy where you literally feel like giving up and there's apathy and etc. there, or You can choose the Eight of Wands where you move forward, because for me, I've often said the Eight of Wands can be about progression, can't it? It's where you make a move and it's like, right, I've got to move on, I've got to move forward, I've got to focus my energy and keep going. Seven of Swords, it could be the brutal honesty with yourself, to be honest. I was thinking, is this about a risk? But I feel like that's kind of radical honesty with yourself when shit happens and you have to be radically honest to overcome. Yeah. I mean, Ten of Swords, that's when something's over, isn't it? That is the kind of one of the results of the Tower. Things are over. And it's almost like the Seven of Swords is assessing the process of how how things got destroyed, how they reached their end in a weird way, being radically honest about how that happened. And not to say it's your fault that certain things ended, but excuse me, like say if it was a relationship where someone broke up with you or something, this is a simple example. It's when those kind of things happen. It could be a situation where you lived with someone for 10 years and they break up with you, and it's sort of assessing that. And it's not all about blaming them for this, that and the other, but it's sort of assessing the whole situation to process your emotions, and having that sort of radical honesty, like what was the role that the other person played, what was the role that you played, what could you have done differently, not because you can go back, but what could you have done differently so that you can go forward. And you've got the Knight of Cups there, so that you can create a new dream. So I think I will leave that there. So as I say, it's mastery. It's learning, gaining knowledge, and physically, whatever happens in your world, it's being able to adapt physically. So that might be part of the mastery, actually, physically, is that you're physically able to adapt to whatever happens. So let's look at the current energy of the Emperor now. And the words that are coming to mind is like a new, kind of like a new leader, even if that means that you lead yourself in a new way. Could be to do with other people, like if you were literally going to be a spiritual teacher, but it could be about leading yourself in a new way as well. Let's see what comes out for the Emperor card. So you got the Five of Pentacles. That Five of Pentacles, it almost feels like, I will probably clarify on its own, but it's kind of leaving something behind to stand up for something new or different. No, too many cards, too many. Oh, of course it has to go down there, doesn't it? Right, we've got it's a new journey, isn't it? The Hermit is a new journey. It's new, again, it's the Hermit does kind of expand their consciousness, so it's a new journey, leaving the old journey behind, or old path behind, or not even the path, as I say, it's like you've already mastered something, like again, the example of, I've already been to primary school, I'm in my 30s, I can't go back to that, I've got to move forward, but bear with me, let's see if we can find this. Oh crap, the card's stuck down there. I'm just going to pause the video just to check. Right, so it was, hopefully it's just the one card that fell. It's the Four of Pentacles. When I picked it up, it was in reverse. I'm not sure if it was meant to be in reverse, but it feels like letting go. And I'm going to say it because it's in my head. There's a song by Erykah Badu called Bag Lady. And I know well, for someone that might be a message, actually an important message. But it's about the baggage that you have throughout your life and letting, and kind of going forward, letting go of the old baggage. Like if you've got too much old baggage, you can't move forward. And maybe that's how you feel, or how someone feels about their path, is that they have to let go of that to expand and move forward. And look at the Hermit on his journey. The only things he has are, obviously he's got his cloak on to keep him warm. He's got a stick and a lamp. That's it. That's him on his whole journey. It's like the Fool, isn't it? The Fool, all the Fool has is a weird amount of clothes and the dog, and that's it on his journey. So it's like you're packing light to go off on this new journey and letting go of the old. And Death is on the bottom of the deck. That's transformation, isn't it? So anything else? Right, so you've got the Ace of Wands. So there's definitely a new spark here, even if you're not able to verbalize it or explain what it is, and you're feeling held back or like it can't come out just yet. You've got the spark there, the inspiration for it. The Hanged Man, again, it can be spiritual development, can't it? It can be different, looking at different perspectives, but it's the energy of, it's not, the Hanged Man keeps to himself, like he hasn't shared his knowledge with anyone. So it's like you're ready to lead yourself in a new direction, or you're at the beginning stages, but you haven't quite shared, or you're not able to share what you know yet. That could be, I'm thinking guiding light with that lamp there, a guiding light to others, or leading by example, or however you want to put it. So let's put that back. I do not know. I mean, the only title I can think of for this reading is to basically copy what it says on the card about expanding your consciousness. I can't think of anything else, because this is just, yeah. Maybe I'll call it Out of This World, because it feels out of this world. So you've got the Six of Cups and the Ace of Wands there. I think at the beginning I said it's doing things differently from the way you've done them before. Oh, something just came into my head and I've forgotten it now. I feel like that Six of Cups there is like you've learned all that you can from the past now, and it's time to expand because you've learned everything you can from that particular phase. I mean, the Ace of Wands is a new chapter, isn't it? Right, so I mean, you've got the Chariot, which is a card of progression, isn't it? It's a card of discipline, going off on a new journey again, or choosing a path, isn't it? You've got the Five of Swords, Queen of Cups. I may look at that Five of Swords on its own. I mean, the Five of Swords, I know we often look, it can be a negative card, but it can be about defeat as well. I will clarify on its own, because I feel like it's possible that the Five of Swords doesn't have to be a completely negative card. But we'll clarify in a minute. So Seven of Pentacles. So we're looking at the future energy now. So I think that you are going to kind of go off on this new path of expansion, or this new internal journey of expansion. You're definitely emotionally connected to it. You may have some moments where you feel, you kind of wonder, whatever happens, you might have moments where you wonder, is it worth it? For whatever reason, you may have those moments, which, as I said in, I think it was the last reading, Cancer or Aries or whoever, that whenever you pursue a different or a new path, it's not linear, is it? You don't just decide, right, I'm doing that and it's all a straight, easy road. There are ups and downs and moments of doubt, and so it's not surprising to have that Seven of Pentacles there. Knight of Wands, I mean, I've often said that the Knight of Wands for me feels like determination. So although you may have moments where you question it and you're like, shit, I don't know if I can do this, is it worth it? Have I set my sights too high? I think the determination will still be there with the Knight of Wands. The desire will still be there. So let's look at this Five of Cups. I mean, one of the meanings I often get from this is where, like, say if you're pursuing a new path, it's people, naysayers, isn't it? One of the easy meanings to look at. But I'm wondering if this could be your energy, where you might have to fight for it and stand up for it, even if you do have naysayers. It's like, well, that whole thing about, I think it's come up for me before, probably in a Cancerian reading, of kind of having to put people in their place. I know that sounds a bit harsh, and it's not in a malicious way. It's just when people are trying to mess with your flow and tell you what you can and can't do, and you do have to get more assertive than you normally would be to kind of put them in their place. So to set the boundary, that they can't try and tell you what to do or derail you from your path. So Five of Swords, Nine of Swords, the Lovers. Okay, yeah, this could be very much be about naysayers, and it's where people might criticize your path or your journey. And again, as I said, whenever you pursue a new path or journey, it's not just a straightforward, yep, I'm doing this, I feel good about it, and all the way through it's easy. You can have moments where, as strong as you are, people say stuff or have opinions, or things come up where it puts a bit of doubt and worry and anxiety in your mind. But here for me, it's saying to focus on why you've decided to do this in the first place. Focus on what you connect with, what you want to connect with, what you love, and on the path that you're choosing Don't let anybody derail you from it. Keep going. So I'll leave that there and we'll look at your advice card, which is the King of Cups. And as I said, it's like emotional and spiritual mastery. And that doesn't mean that if you do master this, it's like that's it for your whole life now. You're a complete spiritual, emotional master and there's nothing more to learn. There's always something to learn. But for this particular part of you, path, life chapter, it is an opportunity for emotional and spiritual mastery and expansion of your consciousness. So King of Cups. Right, as I said, with that 5 of Swords coming up, there will definitely be, it's not an easy ride, is it? There will be things that come up where you really have to stand strong in your sense of emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, emotional resilience, probably more than anything else. When the fears and doubts kick in, you have to stand strong by what you feel and what you believe in. You've got the, yeah, it feels like the doubts. It's where the doubts kick in and the fears kick in. But if you know this, you can be prepared for it, can't you? So this is kind of a repeat of that future energy. Let's try that again. No, you know what? I'm going to take that. If you do come across people along the way who do understand you, obviously allow that in and sort of allow that to encourage you on your path. And if you can do that for others as well, allow that in, because as I've said a million times, the Two of Cups for me can be about understanding. It's not just romance between people, shared emotions and understanding each other. You've got the Star, which for me can be about keeping the faith, keeping your hope alive in the path that you're pursuing, because you've got the doubts there. The Empress, it is about creation, but again, there's that whole self-care, and not just physical self-care, but emotional and spiritual self-care as well is what comes to mind with that. And it's almost a magician energy again, of knowing what you're capable of, that you can overcome the challenges with the 5 of Wands. So I'm going to leave this really unusual reading right there, and I'm going to get you a final card of advice from the Black Moon Lilith Cosmic Alchemy Oracle. I'm trying to remember it off by heart because it is a mouthful, and I know that I could say the short version of Black Moon Lilith Oracle, but I like saying the long version just to complicate things. So final advice for Aquarius, if you are still with me and you didn't get too confused by the whole reading. Final advice for Aquarius within this reading. I actually really like the reading, as weird as it is. I like it. I mean, I like mysteries anyway, so and as I said, feel free in the comments to sort of let me know what this means to you, if anything at all, if it resonates. Probably only resonates for like 1 or 2 people, if anyone. But yeah, final advice, right? For Aquarius, you've got the same card that Taurus got, I believe, and for me this is that energy, that's that resilience, isn't it? Mars, drive, energy and passion. It's that resilience to keep going, because this looks like it will not be an easy path. But yeah, so 26, and as I said to Taurus, I believe it was, you got 26 if you're into numbers. 6 and 2 is 8, and that is all about progression, isn't it, and movement. So let's see, it says, right, so I will say beforehand, because I read this message recently, it will mention something about your Mars sign in astrology. So if you don't already know your Mars sign, there's a link in the description box to generate your birth chart, and that'll tell you what it is, and it'll help you by the time we get near the end of this message. So Mars is the cosmic divine masculine and loves to initiate action, lead, compete, and come out on top. If you have felt stagnancy in your life, this card indicates that a breakthrough is imminent. When Mars is present, the universe is ready for you to move forward. A supportive masculine figure could also be coming into your life to assist you. One caveat about Mars energy: the need for dominance and power struggles can come up now. Remember to practice patience. In astrology, Mars is the planet of action, drive, sex, aggression, passion, physical strength, and how we get things done. In Roman mythology, Mars is the god of war, the military, and agriculture. It also rules over the fire sign of Aries and the water sign of Scorpio. Aries is the explosive and physical action-oriented side, while Scorpio represents the strategic and passionately reactive side. In astrology, it is considered a personal planet, meaning that it appears prominent in your outward personality. It can describe how we like to exercise, what motivates us, and how we react in anger. When you are doing something that you are passionate about, it increases your manifestation power. Find your Mars sign in your birth chart and match it in the following list with what drives you. So it now says your passion according to your Mars sign. Mars in Aries, leadership and independence. Mars in Taurus, sensuality and values. Mars in Gemini, speech and communication. Mars in Cancer, nurturing and emotion. Mars in Leo, expression and creativity. Mars in Virgo, analysis and organization. Mars in Libra, beauty and balance. Mars in Scorpio, strategy and intuition. Mars in Sagittarius, learning and optimism. Mars in Capricorn, structure and discipline. Mars in Aquarius, logic and innovation. And Mars in Pisces, emotional depth. And as a final message, it says, prepare for a fiery, passionate time of creation. Sex is a positive outlet for you right now. And I had to say with that final message in Taurus is reading, is anybody trying to get pregnant with that final message? I mean, strangely, I think it was this, like when I did the pick a card readings, I kept on thinking when I was doing like the pre-shuffling, sorting the cards, is someone's sex life going to really improve in the new year? I don't know why that thought came in. And I think I was thinking that this morning when I had to do these readings, I was kind of laughing to myself. I was like, why does this keep coming up that somebody's life could sex life could really improve in the new year? I don't know what that's about. You know what? I wish good luck for everyone with that, because why not? But I will leave your message there if you are still with me. Feel free to like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want a personal reading, see the description box. Again, Happy New Year and thanks for watching.